It all began with silence. During dinner, my grandmother's hand trembled as she slid a flash drive beside my plate. No words, just her eyes locking onto mine. Pain, fear, care. Then a whisper, "Watch it alone." I waited until the house slept. Locked my bedroom door. Pressed play, static. Then a shaky video. My father's office. My mother and my husband sat side by side, calm, cold, talking about forged documents, stolen inheritance, my grandfather's legacy siphoned away dollar by dollar. My chest went hollow. That night, my marriage and my family ended in the same breath. The next morning, I smiled at everyone, pretending nothing had changed. But I drove straight to my grandfather's old lawyer. I showed him everything. He listened silent, then said, "Daisy, you're the victim of fraud. But we can still fight back." I came home with dry eyes and a burning plan. At dinner, my mother criticized my hair. My husband cracked shallow jokes. My grandmother kept quiet. Only her eyes spoke. "You know now, and you know what to do." That night, I dug deeper. Bank records, transfers, odd amounts labeled as loans. A name kept repeating mummily. My cousin, the one who held my hand when I lost the baby. She wasn't just family. She was a thief in disguise. Over $280,000 had passed into her account, most funneled by my husband. And then came the final betrayal, a video of the two of them. Wine glasses, laughter, a kiss. It wasn't just fraud, it was intimacy. But I didn't cry. I built evidence. Organized files. Collected proof like weapons. Revenge wasn't rage, was patience, precision, silence. And if you're still here, lean closer. This is why I created Shattered Bonds, because what I uncovered next could happen to anyone, and it's always the people you least suspect. My mother thought she owned the family home. She didn't know my grandfather's will had left it to me. With a lawyer's help, I sold it in secret. Overnight, her only asset vanished. She begged, screamed, left me dozens of messages. I felt no guilt. She was drowning in the same poison she'd poured into me my whole life. Then my grandmother revealed another secret. My father had known everything. He'd tried to protect me, but died before he could. His death, once called an accident, now looked like a carefully staged silence. Old letters showed he had threatened to go public about my mother's schemes. Weeks later, he was gone. And the supposed witness, an employee of my father-in-law. That's when I realized my marriage wasn't a mistake. It was arranged. Not for love, for money. My father-in-law had tied my husband to me because of my inheritance. A cage disguised as a wedding ring. But predators make mistakes when they underestimate their prey. My husband forgot to lock his phone. In his files, I found a lease contract for a warehouse in my name, a company registered under me. And it was under federal investigation for money laundering. They weren't just stealing from me. They were setting me up as the fall girl. I went straight to the FBI with everything. They listened for hours. The lead agent said, "You've given us exactly what we were missing." The next morning, subpoenas landed. My husband, my mother, my cousin, even my father-in-law. The empire they built on lies cracked open. But the deepest cut came later. My grandmother revealed the truth about my mother. She wasn't her real daughter. She was my grandfather's hidden child, born from an affair he had long buried in shame. That explained her hunger, her resentment, her obsession. She was a ghost, chasing legitimacy, but she chose deceit, manipulation, cruelty. Blood explained the wound, but not the weapon. I thought the cycle had closed. Then Miranda appeared, my father's old secretary, the only person who treated me kindly as a child. She carried a suitcase my father had given her a week before his death. Inside, documents, invoices, and a letter for me. If you're reading this, Daisy, it means I couldn't protect you in time. Follow the money. Trust no one. And no, I loved you. The letter broke me. My father wasn't passive. He had fought, and now I could finish what he started. Miranda handed me a flash drive with hidden recordings. My father confronting James, the so-called family friend. His words were firm. I won't let my father's legacy become part of a dirty scheme. Days later, he was dead. The recordings triggered a homicide investigation. What they called an accident was now under review. And the circle of suspects. My mother, my husband, my father in dash law dash tightened. I watched their masks fall one by one. Desperation replaced arrogance. My mother tried to flee. My husband tried to deny. James collapsed under questioning. The family name once carried pride. Now it carried fraud, conspiracy, betrayal. And as I sat with my grandmother and Miranda, I realized something. This wasn't just revenge. This was freedom. I wasn't erasing the past. I was rewriting it with truth. And if you want more stories that cut this deep, that show how silence hides the darkest crimes. Subscribe to Shattered Bonds, because trust me, sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones sitting across from you at dinner.